In this video, we will practice writing sentence outlines and formatting those outlines in MLA style. I'm Gabriel DCO, course instructor. The first element of the outline is the thesis statement, which you place on top of the outline. In this example, we see that every citizen is responsible for global warming, and as such, it is everyone's responsibility to help reduce carbon emissions. So this is the main idea of the paper and is listed first. Then, every major point that develops that central idea is labeled with a Roman numeral, or is numbered with a Roman numeral. In this example, we have 1, 2, and 3, but you may have more, 4, 5, and even 6. Then each of those major points will be broken down into more specific information, also known as minor detail in composition. And then we use a different numbering system. We use a combination of numbers and letters. So here in the example, you can see we consume plastic at alarming rates. This is one of the major points. It is broken down into two minor points, A and B. So capital letters are used to break down major points. So we see A, the average American uses and discards 3 plastic cups a week. Our food comes packaged in plastic wrappers is point B. If we need to break down these points, A and B, in turn, then we're going to use this kind of notation. So, to recap, major point is a Roman numeral, broken down into minor points with capital letters. So, for example, we see here, major point 1 is we consume plastic at alarming rates, broken down into two major points. A, the average American uses and discards 3 plastic cups a week. And B, our food comes packaged in plastic wrappers. Because of space restrictions on the screen, we only have A broken down into further detail. You can see A is broken down into numbers 1 and 2. 1, fossil fuels are used to make those cups we discard daily. And 2, processing fossil fuels contributes to global warming. Yet 2 is broken down into 2 further pieces of information. Lowercase a, the gases released are trapped in the atmosphere, and B, trapped gases prevent heat from exiting to open space. It is important to note that if you add A, you must add B at least. And if you add 1, you must at least add 2. You can't just have 1, you need to have 2 of each. With this in mind, we're going to go to the final draft of an outline, formatted in MLA style. So here we see that the outline contains a header and page number, plus an MLA heading, student, professor, course, date. The date written in military style, a label, outline, you don't need a title for this, or outline of essay 1, outline of paper 2, whatever the label might be. The first element is a thesis, aligned flush with the margin. And then we have the major points, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all in Roman numerals. 1 is broken down into A, B, C, D, and E, and this further indentation helps visually recognize that A, B, C, D, and E are part of 1, Roman numeral 1, major points. We can call this greater indentation or vertical white space. And then we see, because we have more vertical white space here, that E is broken down into 1 and 2. Here we see 2 broken down into A and B. Then B is broken down into 1 and 2. And 2 itself is broken down into A and B. And we recognize this because of the wider vertical white space, and so on. So how do we get to this point? Word doesn't make it easy for you to create an outline. Word will use a different numbering system and will get very stubborn about how to do things. So we work around those features in Word and we create our own system. A version of the outline that is complete. Here we see the numbering system is already there, but the formatting is not. So we are going to format this. So this is an MLA style. We have a heading. It's lacking the student name. So we're going to write the student's name. We're going to insert the page number. This is the Mac version, so this is done slightly differently from the PC version here on the right, which is okay. To be able to write the header, I'm going to increase the size of this, and I'm going to click right before the number, type student's name, hit enter, hit space, turning formatting symbols on, going back to 100, and then close it. Let's see, my text is in Times New Roman 12. My header and page number are in Calibri. Let's make this consistent for the time being. Let's make this Times New Roman 12. Here's my Times New Roman, and here's 12. So it's consistent. I may change that later, but right now everything is consistent. So here I have an outline. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a color coding just for this tutorial. I'm going to color code my outline. I'm going to color code my thesis yellow. I'm going to color code each of my major points purple. And I'm going to color code all the information that develops each of those major points blue. I have that already done. So all I have to do is call up my file. So we see the heading is incomplete here, but I'm going to fill it out at the end. Yellow is my thesis, purple is each of my major points, and then all the information that develops each major point is blue. So it's easy to see what's in here. 5 major points and all the detail. But I also need to break down this detailed information into different categories. So everything that is A, B, C, D, etc. will remain blue. But anything that breaks down any of these points, like for example this 1 and 2, or 1, 2, and then A and B, I am going to turn green. I have that done. So I'm just going to call out the file. And we see yellow is my thesis. My major points are purple. The information immediately underneath each major point in capital letters is blue, and the rest is green. Now, not all this green information is of the same degree, because lowercase a and b develop point number 2 only. And here A and B develop point number 2. Again, number 2, but it could be any other number. So I'm going to highlight each of these lines labeled with a lowercase letter in blue. And again, I have that done already. So I'm going to call it up. And here we have a color-coded outline. Thesis. Each of the major points in purple or magenta, if you will. The information immediately below is blue. Information that develops one of the points in blue is in green. Information that develops any of the points labeled with a Arabic numeral is in blue. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to organize all this visually. So my points in purple or magenta stay flush with the margin. I don't need to touch those. Everything below each of the points is going to be indented. So I highlight everything below 1, and here I click increase indent 1 time. And I'm going to do this for each of the points below. Indent everything 1 time. Now everything under point number 4, which is only 2 points, and everything on the point number 5. And good. So now everything that is blue or labeled with an uppercase letter remains with this indentation. Anything green or blue, which is further details, will be indented 1 more time, another ½ inch. So I just highlighted 1 and 2. I'm clicking increase indent, and that's that. Here I'm clicking increase indent. I'm choosing 1 and 2 or green, increase indent. Nothing here under 4, but under 5 I have several lines which I'm trying to get to. Not the one in blue. Increase indent. Perfect. And the last piece that I have to indent is everything highlighted blue, because that goes yet 1 stage further. Have another 2 lines. Now all the indentation is ready. So my outline is almost ready. What I have to do now is, like I did earlier, add the student name. This time I'm going to make my entire outline Calibri 12. Calibri 12. See, it's a little bit bigger than Times New Roman, so I went over the next page. I'm going to double click here and add my page number, insert page number on the right. That's going to be Calibri 12, not 11. So I highlight it, make it 12. Now I want to make this considerably larger so I can type easily. Place my cursor right before the number, type the student's last name and a space. Turn on my formatting symbols. You see it's still Calibri 12. Make it back to 100. 124 is good enough. I'm going to close this. Last thing I'm going to do is highlight the entire document and get rid of all the highlighting. So this is what an outline looks like. But this being MLA style, it has to be double spaced. So one more time, Control A highlights the entire document, or Command A in Mac. Right click, choose paragraph. Make sure that spacing before and after a line is 0, 0. We don't want auto, we want 0. And line spacing, we're going to make it double. Click OK. And now my outline is formatted in perfect MLA style.